Okay. So today we're changing strings on the EKO. Basically, having a string winder makes things so much easier. They have motorized string winders too. You don't have to necessarily go that route, but just the plain old string winder makes such a huge difference. We'll take each one. Wonderful. Wonderful sound. This is an old EKO 100, which later became renamed the EKO Musket. Jimi Hendrix played an old Musket in some of his recordings, and it's a great old guitar. They did not, when they first started making these, they did not have a whole lot of great quality control, and so some of these guitars got shipped. They were made in Italy and they were shipped a lot to the East Coast. Some of these guitars got shipped with some pretty major flaws. This one, for instance, had the frets stuck out on either side of the fretboard by 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and it was unplayable. It was absolutely unplayable, and I believe it sat in an attic for years and years. The reason I know it's a 58 is because after 1962, so from 58 to 62, they were the 100, and then after 62, they changed it to a Musket. So if you see one that has the number delineation, you know that's an early model still. This one had been sitting so long with the truss rod tightened that it had developed a backwards bow in the neck, and that would not come out even when I loosened the truss rod, and so it was still unplayable when I got it. And even when I took care of the frets, I had to yank the frets again. I've done about 3 different fret jobs on this guitar because just for the challenge, or just for the sake of getting it right. It was a great old guitar, and I wanted it to really play well, and I needed to satisfy my own curiosity if it could be done. So I've done many fret jobs on this guitar, trying to make sure that it was that we took care of all the problems and all the issues. So now I have built in the correct amount of bow to the neck, so that when the strings tighten up, it comes up to where it needs to be. I just oiled the fretboard, and I almost always do that every string change, because it helps keep that old wood, in this case ebony, keep it full of oil and moisturized. And it's kind of somewhat similar to if you have an old hammer handle and it gets all dried out, that hammer head will start to get loose, shake loose. On a guitar, if you have an old fretboard that gets very dried out, it will actually shrink away from the frets and the tangs that hold the frets in place. And you can, in cold temperature, hot temperature changes, you can then pop frets very easily. And then all of a sudden you have a problem. You have a dead string or dead note on a certain fret because some certain frets are high. So I will leave this oil sitting for a while, let it soak in while I do other things, and then we'll come back and we'll put strings back on.